I felt very belittled, like I wasn't in charge of my own business anymore, and I didn't have a say in what was going on and anything I brought up. I remember like being in tears on the call with this mentor plenty of times. And so I contacted a lawyer to try to get out of it, and I got sued. And that was super fun. I think the worst part about getting sued was I shared my experience in a Facebook group, and then I got sued for sharing this awful experience with this business mentor.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Founder Fires. I'm excited for my guest. She's an awesome friend, great client, and she is a badass entrepreneur. She's been burned, sued, and still standing. Rebuilding with power. So it's been cool to kind of see behind the scenes of what's going on with her journey and just the resilience. You know, here on Founder Fires, we talk about the identity that you need to have as an entrepreneur, how you're going to be tested as far as your resilience, and then what kind of levers you need to build a business that's sustainable. So without further ado, I want to dive into our episode. Lindsey VanSchoyck. Did I say your last name right?
Yeah, it's a crazy last name.
Yeah, Lindsey VanSchoyck. So she is fire tested entrepreneur who's built and rebuilt her business through legal battles, leadership trials, and just straight up war zone moments where it's like staring at the barrel, wondering, is it even worth continuing to fight to build this thing? Or should I just take it behind the barn and shoot it and start something new? So Lindsey's not just a survivor, but she's actually come back and built something bigger and better. And I'm just, it's been fun to watch her journey. So I want to give you an opportunity to kind of dive into it. All right.
Yeah, it's been a wild 4 years. Actually, I was looking back at Time Hop today, and I made my first post about rejuvenating health 4 years ago today, like announcing, hey, I'm going to take this nutrition program that we started in our CrossFit gym and take it online and pursue new adventures outside of our little town of 7,000 people. So that was a fun moment to look back on today, to be like, wow, how far have I come in 4 years?
That's awesome. Right. So let's get straight into it. For you, walk me through the moment, kind of like everything cracked. What happened with the business, and what was like the challenging time where you were kind of like fully tested?
So, I mean, I had no idea how to run a business. Let's just put that out there. So when I started rejuvenating, it was completely organic. Like I did $1 million my first year just organically. And I'm like, oh, well, this is eventually going to run out, and I need to put some structure in this and probably hire a mentor who can help me do some organization with this. So I hired a business mentor. Everything went good for the first couple of months. And then I got into this partnership, which my husband told me not to get into. And as soon as I got into it, red flags started popping up everywhere. Weren't following through on what they were supposed to be doing. I felt very belittled, like I wasn't in charge of my own business anymore, and I didn't have a say in what was going on and anything I brought up. I remember like being in tears on the call with this mentor plenty of times. And so I contacted a lawyer to try to get out of it, and I got sued. And that was super fun. I think the worst part about getting sued was I shared my experience in a Facebook group, and then I got sued for sharing this awful experience with this business mentor.
Yeah. For you, during that time, as you're kind of like going through it, what did that season do for your identity as a founder?
I felt like I had no business even running a business, right? Like I had built this $1 million business, and then essentially like got in bed with the enemy. So like if I have this poor judgment about who I'm going to seek help from, do I even have the skills to be running a business?
So like the doubt that kind of comes with it, it's almost like the like the victim mentality where those who are like abused are like, man, if maybe I did something to attract this predator to come and take advantage of me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And a lot of that really does take place, where you start to question yourself, you start to question your own judgments and thinking through, how did I even get here?
I feel like I completely didn't get over that aspect of the identity until a few months ago. Because I went through that again this fall with one of my employees who I trusted a lot and became very close with, and I got taken advantage of. And then I'm like, again, what am I doing wrong? Like, what is it about me that, do I not have good boundaries? Do I not have good leadership skills? Like, what is it about me that I keep, again, victim mentality?
Yeah. And it's not even like the hard thing, that's what I had to kind of cope with for me, is when you love people and you truly want the best for others, you can't imagine a world where someone takes advantage of you.
I know.
Because your idea is like, I really want what's best for this person, so I'm assuming they really want what's best for me.
Yep.
Right. And it's sad to say, it's a rare trait that not a lot of people have, and I've definitely been on the other side of that, where I'm like, I really want what's best for these people, and it completely taken advantage. So what you don't want to lose is that heart, right? Where you really want to see what's best for others. But we got to be able to have the boundaries and establish the boundaries to be able to see, okay, when do I need to actually start, when I see a red flag and people start to show me the true colors, I got to believe them the first time. Right. When they show me their true colors, I got to believe them the first time. God damn it. I'm not going through that again. Right. And for me, that was kind of like the thing where I had to learn, is like, I don't want to change that aspect of me where I see the best in people. But what I do have to do is have a good touch with reality and believe people the first time when they show me the true colors, and not be like, oh, but maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe I can, help them turn things around and try and be their savior in some sense. Right.
Yeah. And for me, it made me put up walls almost. Like, I don't want to work with anyone. Like, I put up bad walls. Like, I don't trust anyone anymore. Like, if I've been burnt this much, like, it makes it hard to trust people.
100%. When did that switch flip for you to like want to fight back and actually rebuild? What was that moment for you?
Throughout that whole lawsuit, like, that was a lot, right? It was a whole year of a lawsuit, and it cost me a lot of money. Like a lot of money and a lot of stress. And there were multiple times during that lawsuit that I would ask my lawyer, like, what happens if I just like quit the business? And honestly, I know that the best thing probably that could have happened to me was I was getting sued personally for making that post in the Facebook group, because I was getting sued personally, I couldn't just close down the business, right? So I look back now and I'm like, okay, well, that probably was a good thing, because otherwise I think I would have just quit during that lawsuit time, right?
You didn't have an option.
I didn't have an option. I had to keep my business. I had to keep fighting, and I had to keep it going. And it was really hard. I ended up settling that lawsuit, and that was really hard for me to do, because I still feel like I was very in the right, and I still had to pay this person money, and I'm still paying them money. But you have to take your wins and losses, and kind of summed it up to like, well, I did sign this contract, and so, I'm going to just move on from it. And I'm at peace with that now, because I've built something great out of the ashes of that. And so as soon as I settled that lawsuit, things like really started to turn around, because that like overwhelming cloud of doom was like, okay, this is past me. And now I can really move forward with this business that I built that intended to help people. And it was just so much stress that I was losing the vision of like why I created a business in the first place.
For you, as you're kind of like going through that, did your leadership style change or business model change after you experienced that?
Yeah. So I would say my leadership probably didn't change until a few months after that, whenever I had like my second looming thing happen, when I got kind of taken advantage of from a friend and employee. And then it was really like, okay, I was not being a good leader because I was trying to be more of a friend to my employees and like actually lead them. And so I feel like that made me grow as a leader tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, we can unpack that, or like the main lessons that you learned leadership wise that kind of like a breakthrough moment for you.
Like, you can be a great leader and be empathetic, but you still have to lead your team, right? You still have to have authority, and you still have to have boundaries, and you still have to have systems and processes and SOPs and all of those things. And you can be friendly with your staff, and you can have good relationships with them, and they can be by your side through it all, but you still have to lead them. They still need guidance. And if you're seeing someone that's like constantly causing you stress, then maybe that person isn't the right person for your business.
Yeah. If they're keeping you up at night because you don't know what kind of emotional roller coaster they're going to bring, there's a problem. And I think a lot of people try to treat their employees and their staff as family and not as a team. Right. And I'll call my team now like, hey, we're a team. We're not a family. Let's just get that straight. I didn't choose my family, and I'm stuck with my family. And my family is their ability to produce does not impact their status as my family member. Don't get it twisted. Your ability to produce dramatically impacts your status on this team, whether or not you're going to continue being a part of the team. So I want you to be a part of the team long term, but you got to be producing in order to keep your spot on this team, right?
Yep. And we're doing that with our sales team. Yeah, that's what we're building with our sales team now. Like, I mean, our sales team has grown, like we kind of just exploded, right? And I've had some people on my sales team that have been with me for a long time. And now it's like, if you want to stay a part of this team, like you got to step it up and produce. Yeah.
You got to produce and do what's best for the team, right? I'm going to do what's best for the team and ultimately what's best for you. But don't get it twisted. Is because I want to get the most out of you. I want to help you reach your full potential. And we're trying to build something big, right?
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing I've learned from that is I used to be really reactive, right? Like someone would say something and I just like reply back instantly. So one of the things that I've noticed myself like working on really the last like 6 months is like, okay, think about how you're responding to every single thing that comes across, and make sure you're doing it in a professional, authoritative manner that's also like supporting your team, not coming down on them, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, even especially with like clients that like consulting clients that I have, if I get an emotional like message, I wait till the next day to reply. Right? Because we will want a reply in the moment, but if it's like too emotionally charged, I'm like, you're not even in the headspace to receive what I'm going to tell you because you're too emotional. You're too close to it. So I'm going to force you to wait 24 hours before I get back to you, because then you're going to cool down. And then whatever I say at that point is going to be received with calm head. Right.
Oh, now I'm thinking like, how many times have you made me do that?
100%. Like, I don't tell people that, but they start to, after a while, they're like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But that's what has to happen because I do the same thing with myself. Like, case in point, yesterday, I found out that somebody on my team made a decision about a feature that was set to go live yesterday that was not in line with the vision and what I clearly communicated. I was infuriated, like pissed off because building features is expensive. Like, it costs a bunch of engineering time. It's very, very expensive. So I'm like, this feature we just spent a bunch of money to build because of the change that they made unilaterally without coming back to me about was completely and utterly rendered useless. So the last 2.5 weeks was just useless. All right. So in the moment, I was ready to go for his throat and like strangle the man. Right. But I was like, you know what? Let me go for a walk, and I'm just going to chalk it up as an honest mistake. Because everything I know to be true about this staff member, this team member, leads me to believe that this was not a malicious thing, right? It was an honest mistake. In the moment, if it was in front of me, I probably would have punched him in his throat because how angry I was. But I'm like, I recognize that. I'm not even going to send him a message yet because I typed out a heated message. I was like, you know what? Let me just leave this in draft. Gonna go take a beat, come back, reworded the message, sent it on. He's like, I'm so sorry. You are 100% right. Completely dropped the ball. You were very clear on this. And then they were able to get it resolved and get it fixed and get it shipped this morning. But if I had like acted on my first instinct to punch him in the throat, completely different outcome, which is why you got to be able to take a beat and pause and breathe and not act on all the emotions that you feel in the heat of the moment, you know? So I practice that with myself, and I do that with anyone that I'm coaching. I'm like, you're too heated right now. I'm going to make you cool off. And then I'll send a response that I know will be received when you're looking at it objectively. So, with the lawsuit, what was exposing your business as far as like systems, teams of decision making that you realize like was just an opportunity to essentially kind of start from scratch?
I mean, I feel like after that lawsuit ended, I kind of totally had to rebuild my company and how I ran it, right? So after the lawsuit, you and I started working together, and we started really digging into my business, and I was completely overpaying people, didn't have any structure in place, I wasn't producing in a way that was like scalable at all. So it was really looking at all of that, and that was scary to make changes because I lost a lot of staff members when I came in and changed pay compensation and stuff like that. But what I haven't now built is like amazing. I have the best.
You get to go on vacation and actually enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
like I have management layers.
When you go, but it's actually there where you can come back, deal with the fires, deal with the issues, but not have to worry about it stressing you the hell out. Like, oh my gosh, if I take this vacation, we're not even going to make payroll. Right?
Yeah, now the company's profitable, right? Like, we had an amazing month last month. This month it's kind of down because we're rebuilding our sales team, but now we're at a point where it's like, okay, I can have months that are down like this, that maybe we're not racking in all the profit, because it's okay to have months like that because we have a cushion and we're profitable and we can breeze through some of those times.
Now you can think long term and be like, okay, well, this is going to be down right now, or we're building the foundation and the supporting systems to kind of get the team to be able to perform consistently and sustainably. I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I got to freak out because we're going to go out of business if we don't turn this thing around. It's like, okay, we can actually take our time to properly implement some of these things that's going to get us in that next point. All right. So what were some of the, what specific moves helped you scale after the storm? Right? What was like the first real win that made you believe again?
Well, I think redoing our coaching was huge. Just redoing the way we structured. I actually brought on nurses. So, I mean, background, I'm a nurse practitioner. So a lot of what we do is medical and coaching and stuff like that. So I actually brought on nurses and then paid them like a nurse would be paid, and changed all of that and put systems and processes in place. And then getting my sales team up to snuff was huge. I think that's the biggest thing, was the sales process.
Yeah. And for you, how would you say like the pain made you a better CEO? Like, did the pain make you a better CEO? And
yeah, I was talking to my husband the other day. He's like, "You're a totally different person than you were 4 years ago. Like, you were just this timid. You were scared to make decisions. You were not confident in your ability to lead others or be a businesswoman." And I'm not that way at all now. Like, I feel like I did a podcast today, and we were talking about before, I would have just offered anything to try to get clients in and to make revenue, even if I didn't believe necessarily that it worked. Right. And now, I know what my offer is. And if you don't want to pay for it, then go find someone else. I'm not going to adjust what I do to make it fit to get clients. This is what we do. And if it doesn't work for you, then go somewhere else.
Yeah. And that's powerful because you're coming from a place of alignment and integrity. You know your value, right? You know your value. You know the impact that you're going to have. You know what you're building, and you know who you're working, who it's for, right? And a lot of people in the early stage don't really have that kind of backbone to be like, you know what? I need to stick the line. And transparently in the early stage, when you're just trying to pay the bills, those are the compromises that you make. And ultimately it's easier said than done. But now as you're looking back and you figure out who your ideal clients are and what your standards are, now it's like, okay, I got to stick to my guns.
Yeah, I'm looking back and I'm like, my poor sales team and coaching team, I was changing our offer every week. Oh, what can we do to get clients in this week? What? And I'm like, good God, no wonder they were so confused. And now it's no, this is what we offer. This is what you sell and this is what you coach.
Yep. Makes the business a lot more streamlined, makes your marketing message streamlined, and makes who you're serving streamlined, makes your services and the types of people that you need to hire a lot easier to dial in. And it makes the business a lot more scalable, right? Because now you have processes and documentations in place to actually hold the team accountable to.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest lessons I learned is that if you hire someone to help you and they're not doing their job, it's not your job to not hurt their feelings. Get rid of them. Right? I cannot tell you how many people I've hired to help us with ads and marketing and closers, and I've held on to them way too long. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to get rid of them. And when I should have gotten rid of them, again, what you said, if they show you red flags, move on.
If they show you their true colors early on, believe them the first time. Don't.
Yeah, it's really easy to get taken advantage of, right? It's really easy to get sold stuff and taken advantage of. When you're starting out as a business, they're selling you unicorns and rainbows. And if they don't hold up to what they're,
100%. And that's where the challenge is being able to stick to your guns and have exit boundaries. That's one of the biggest things that I learned is here are the things that needs to happen for me to feel good about continuing in this relationship. And as soon as you start showing me these red flags where I'm these are my do not pass goes, right? I've got to stick to those boundaries and be like, you know what? This is no longer a healthy engagement for me because of X, Y, Z. And for those reasons, I gotta go a different direction. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've just learned too throughout this whole process is there's going to be fires in your business. It's part of running a business. My coaching team is solid, but with the sales and marketing, You never know when your ads are going to crash. You never know when your contractor of a sales rep is going to quit. Like, there's always going to be fires as you're running a business, but it's not letting that knock you down and making you want to give up. It's just like, okay, well, this happened. Let's move on and fix it and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. I know you got a hard stop, so I want to transition to rapid fire real quick.
Okay.
For you, what would you say is the most underrated trait of an entrepreneur or founder?
Resiliency.
Resilience.
Yeah, you have to be so resilient.
And then what is the biggest red flag in a business deal? Like, if you were going to go back and look at like the partnership contract that you signed initially, like what was like the biggest red flag? They like looking back now, you're like, if you saw it, you're like, hell no, I'm not going anywhere near this with the 10.
I mean, I think it's just trust your gut, right? Like if I would have just trusted my first instinct and trusted my gut, like I never would have been put in that situation.
Yep. I look back and I'm like, I have never regretted a deal that I felt really, really good about, but I've regretted every deal that I've moved forward with where my gut was telling me like, don't do it.
Yep.
Every single one where my gut was telling me don't do it. And then to add insult to injury, my wife was like, don't do it. And
Same,
then I
my
did
husband.
it anyway.
Yep. Same.
Then I did it anyways, and it blew up in my face. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
God was trying to give me a way out. Like, my gut says don't do it. And then the wife is like, don't do it. Like, if you don't trust your gut, at least trust her gut and don't do it. And I'm like, you know what? I think we can figure it out. Like, there's going to be some turbulence. And it's like, nope. Every single one of those deals where my gut wasn't all in. And especially when my wife was like, no, don't do it. It's all blown up. I've never regretted not doing something because I had a gut feeling about it.
Yeah.
And then last thing, one belief that kept you alive during the chaos.
I mean, it was probably my faith, to be honest. Just like knowing that at the end of the day, everything's in God's hands and he gave me this great gift of abilities. And if he wants me to continue to do it, then he'll provide a way to continue to make that happen.
Yeah. It's funny, like for me, as I was even thinking about kind of like your journey, one of the things that I can sum it up is like, you don't come back stronger by accident, right? You come back because you're forged in the fire. You endure the pain and you learn the hard lessons from those most challenging moments where you're kind of rocked to your core, right? And I think you've been a great example of what that looks like. And it's also encouraging for a lot of entrepreneurs is that even to hear, like those of you guys who are in the heat right now, this is just your reminder. It's not over. Like, it's in those moments where you feel the most challenged. That's where the real work begins, right? That's where the real work of becoming who you're meant to be and getting one step closer to your true potential. That's where that work happens. So
yeah,
appreciate you for taking the time to jump on and share that. I know for those of you who are listening, definitely we'll probably have you back on because you got a lot of fires and dramatic things that we can unpack. But thank you for jumping on and gracing us with your time.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, till next time, crew, stay calm, change lives, and have business on your terms. Peace.